Okay, start. Our today's topic is numerical exercises on variance age based on gene frequencies, breeding values, etc. I minimize all of you. Consider a single locus with two alleles, A1 and A2. Estimate the genetic variance and its components from the information given below. Before you, there is a table in which, with regard to this locus, three genotypes are given: A1, 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 A2, and A2, A2. Their concerned frequencies, genotypic value, breeding value, and the dominance deviation is given in this table. We will have to determine variance. So what is variance? You already know. This is our basic formula: sigma f x minus x bar whole square divided by sigma f. What are the components of genotypic variance? According to Fisher, genetic variance is divided into three components: additive variance, dominance variance, and epistatic variance. But for single locus, epistatic variance is 0, and therefore total genetic variance contains only two components: additive variance and dominance variance. So first of all, we will determine additive variance. For determining additive variance, we prepare a table in this manner. In first column, genotypes. Second, mention the frequencies. Third column, breeding values. You have already given in your question. In next column, we will square these breeding values, and in last column, these squared breeding values, these are multiplied by the concerned frequencies of the genotypes. Here is our basic formula of variance, that is sigma f x minus x bar whole square divided by sigma f. Here our breeding value is just equivalent to x minus x bar. I have already told several times that x minus x bar means deviation from mean, and our breeding value is already as deviation from mean. So in this formula, in place of x minus x bar, we may use directly BV, that is breeding value. And accordingly, this formula may be modified in this way, that sigma square A is equal to sigma F into breeding value whole square divided by sigma F. Sigma F BV square we may get from last column total, that it is 116.81, and sigma F you may see in the table, and it is always 1. So the additive variance is 116.81. What is additive variance? It is the variance of breeding values. That's why here we used breeding value, and we got additive variance as 116.81. Next, dominance variance. In the same pattern, we prepare the table for dominance variance. First two column remain the same. In third column, we put the value of dominance deviation, and in next column, we square the dominance deviation, and in the last column, these squared value of dominance deviation these are multiplied by concerned frequencies. The basic formula remain the same, sigma f x minus x bar whole square divided by sigma f. Here again I want to say that this d is just equivalent to x minus x bar, because our deviation is already mentioned as deviation from population mean. In this way, this formula may be modified in this way as mentioned in green font, that is sigma f d square divided by sigma f. Sigma f d square we may get from the last cell of last column, that is 0.92 divided by 1. Thus, dominance variance is equal to 0.92. Here, why we used D values? Because dominance variance is the variance of dominance deviations. Next, what is genotypic variance? That is variance of genotypic values. This variance we may get by two methods. In first method, we use the same pattern. First two columns are the same in this table, and G we have already given genotypic value. Then we square this genotypic value, and these squared genotypic values are multiplied by the concerned frequencies of concerned genotype. Basic formula remains the same, and these G is also again deviation from mean, and in this way sigma square G is equal to sigma square f G square divided by sigma f, and we got the value 117.73. This is genotypic variance. We may use another method. We know that genotypic variance is equal to additive variance plus dominance variance. Both these components we have already derived, so we may simply add both of these and we may get the same value. There may be slight difference in decimal point, so need not to worry. Next, take another question. Consider a single locus with two alleles, A1 and A2, with the frequencies P and Q. There are three genotypes, A1A1, A1A2, and A2A2. The deviation of either of the homozygotes from the mid-parent value is 4. If the frequency of allele A2 is 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, and 0.9. Interpret the results of genotypic variances graphically. If there is no dominance and if there is complete dominance. I want to say you that kindly read this question once again. आदित्य, आवाज आ रही है?
यस सर।
आवाज आ रही है ना?
यस सर।
ठीक है, तो मैं कंटिन्यू करता हूँ. So this is our next question. There are in this question you have given the frequency of A2 allele, that is Q is given, and there are two situations. If what will be the variances if there is no dominance, And what will be the variances if there is complete dominance? What is given? Q is given, and one more thing is given: deviation of either of homozygotes from mid-parent value is 4. That is A is equal to 4. Remember your scale. Deviation from either of the homozygote. It is either plus A or minus A. So here A is equal to 4. So now what is required? Because in all our formulas, both the frequencies are required, P and Q. So we also know the frequency of A1 alleles. So we require frequency of A1 allele, and we also require the related formula of additive variance and dominance variance. So first, determination of frequency of A1, that is P. In first column, there are the frequencies of Q, and we know that P plus Q is equal to 1. If one frequency is given, we may determine the frequency of another allele. So P is equal to 1 minus Q. If Q is equal to 0.1, naturally P will be equal to 0.9. And in this way, there are 9 pairs of frequencies. You may say in this table. You may determine all these other P also. I have determined here. So we have 9 pairs of frequencies. What formulae we require? These are the formulas. You know in very well in previous class. Average effect of gene substitution, alpha is equal to A plus D Q minus P. Additive variance, sigma square A is equal to 2PQ alpha square. Dominance variance, sigma square D is equal to 2PQD whole square. And genotypic variance, just simply add both these components, that is sigma square A plus sigma square D. Now, what would be the variances if there is no dominance? Our first situation. In case of no dominance, D is equal to 0. And we know that there are 9 pairs of allelic frequencies. So in this way, there would be 9 additive variances, 9 genotypic variances, but 0 dominance variance. Why 0? Because D is equal to 0. And see your formula of dominance deviation. Sigma square D is equal to 2PQD whole square. If we will put D is equal to 0, it means the whole figure will be 0. That's why there is no dominance variance. So in this case, which case? If there is no dominance, the whole genetic variance will be the same as additive variance. Or we can say that sigma square G is equal to sigma square A, because next component is 0. Now we will determine अशोक, क्या करोगे भाई, अब इतना तो निकल गया. Okay. When D is equal to 0, you may say in the formula of average effect of gene substitution, that is alpha is equal to A plus D Q minus P. If we put D is equal to 0, it means this whole component D Q minus P, it will be 0. So in case of no dominance, this alpha will be equal to 0. And in that case, additive variance is equal to 2pqa square. In place of alpha square is replaced by a square. How it is replaced? You have seen here. Next, additive variance says if there is no dominance, what type? I have told you that there would be 9 type of additive variances. What are those 9 types? We may determine. In case of no dominance, alpha is equal to a, it means it will equal to 4, and this is our formula. In left side, in pink yellow portion, our frequencies are given, and in the right side, in green portion, additive variance, you may say. So in all these 9 cases, you may apply this formula, and we will get the additive variance as mentioned in this table: 2.88, 5.12, 6.72, 7.68, 8.0, 7.68, 6.72, 5.10, 2.88. And dominance variance, it will be 0 in each case. So genotypic variance, it will equal to additive variance. How this is derived, you may also know. I have given one example of serial number 1, that is sigma square a is equal to 2pqa square. Here 2 multiplied by 0.9 into 0.1 into 4, because a is equal to 4 square, and we will get the value 2.88. There is one simplified way also. In this formula, we know that 2a square, this is a common figure in all these 9. So 2a square, it is equal to 32. So if we multiply 32 by this each combination of frequencies, we may also get this value. Simply multiply both the frequency and then multiply by 32. We will get additive variance. So these are the 9 type of additive variance, and ultimately 9 genotypic variance. Now, variances if there is complete dominance. Complete dominance. We know that there are 9 pairs of allelic frequencies. In case of complete dominance, D is equal to A. Remember your scale? D is equal to A means this heterozygote A1, A2 is just at the position of A1, A1. And in this case, this D will be equal to plus A. If this A1, A1 is at this place, A2, A2, then it will be minus A. But here we have given the value 4. So in case of complete dominance, D is equal to A. In this case, there would be 9 alpha square, 9 additive variances, 9 dominance variances, and 9 genotypic variances. I have again mentioned the related formula. The additive variance and dominance variance in case of complete dominance. Same formula and same pattern you may follow as we followed in case of no dominance. In yellow portion, frequencies are given. Then we get alpha, additive variance, dominance variance, genotypic variance. I have elaborated by taking one example of serial number 1. Alpha for first case A plus D, Q minus P is equal to 4 plus D is equal to 4, 0.1 minus 0.9. So alpha is equal to 0.8. And sigma square A, we may apply the same formula, 2PQ alpha square, and putting all these value, we will get 0.12. Similarly, dominance variance, 2PQD square, we put the frequencies and value of D, we will get 0.52. And genotypic variance, we simply add additive variance and dominance variance, and we will get the value 0.64. You may see in second row all these figures, 0.8, additive variance 0.12, dominance variance 0.52, and genotypic variance 0.64. In the same manner, all other 8 variances you may derive. Our next question was, interpret or mention all these variances graphically. In both the situation, if you plot the figures on graph, you will get such type of figure. On x-axis, we will put the frequency, that is Q, and on y-axis, we will put the value of variances. In case of no dominance, we will get this type of figure, and in this case, genotypic variance is equal to additive variance. And in case of complete dominance, we have also seen in our results that all the additive variance, dominance variance, genotypic variance, they are found in different ways, and these are mentioned in this graph. Dark line, blue line, genotypic variance, broken green line, additive variance, and broken black line, I think, dominance variance. You try to do at your home by taking one graph paper. You will got this type of graph. As per our question, we have done our solution, but through this numerical example, I would like to share some important points also. When there is no dominance, you may say that genetic variance contains only additive variance. And this additive variance is maximum at intermediate frequency. That is, P is equal to Q is equal to 0.5. This is the intermediate frequency. You see, when Q is at lowest, that is 0.1, the variance is also at the lowest. And as the frequency increases, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, variance also increases. And it increases up to middle of the frequency. And then again, you will see that this variance is decreasing. So in case of no dominance, additive variance or genotypic variance is maximum at intermediate frequency. And this is a general for population genetics. You remember this, that in this situation, these variances is maximum at this. Now, when there is complete dominance, I have used the same table. Additive variance is maximum at Q is equal to 0.75. This is 0.7 and this is 0.8. So by research and several other scientists' opinion, that at 0.75, this additive variance is maximum, about 13.17 in this case. And this dominance variance, it is maximum at intermediate frequency. You may see this is dominance variance, and this is 4. Dominance variance is increasing 0.52, 1.64, 2.82, 3.69, and 4, and then again decreasing. So dominance variance is maximum at intermediate frequency, and sigma square is maximum at q is equal to 0.7, just similar to additive variance, 0.7, that is 15.99. Some other important points you should also keep in your mind. At extreme frequencies means one frequency is 0 and another is at highest level. So highest is 1 and extreme lowest is 0. So at extreme frequencies, the genotypic variance and its both components are all 0, and as the gene frequencies move towards the middle, there is an increase in variances. You may see the table. As the frequency increases, the variances also increases. Thus, the contribution of genes is more at intermediate frequencies than at high or low frequencies. The A2 allele at low frequency contribute very little variance. This is clear from this table. Time is going on. At extreme gene frequencies, the genotypes are homozygous and hence no genetic difference exists, because in this case, one frequency of one allele is 0. If P is equal to 0, it means there are only A2 type genotypes. So no genetic difference. All the genotypes are same and all are homozygous. And heterozygosity, it is increased when the gene frequency moves toward the middle. That is, maximum heterozygosity is attained at intermediate gene frequency. And in this way, maximum genetic diversity in the population is found at intermediate gene frequencies. And this gives rise to maximum genetic variance. That's why it is said that maximum genetic variance is attained when genes are at intermediate frequencies. Take another example. Find out narrow sense heritability of flowering time in green gram from the following information. You have given 3 types of variances: environmental variances, additive variance, dominance variance, as mentioned in this table, in this slide. What is given? You have given these 3 types of variances, and what is required? We know that for heritability we require genotypic variance and phenotypic variance. How we determine genotypic variance? This is by adding both additive variance and dominance variance. So genotypic variance is equal to 31.48. Similarly, phenotypic variance is equal to genotypic variance plus environmental variance, and in this way sigma square p is equal to 40.35. So what is to find out? We have to find out heritability in broad sense, that is sigma square g upon sigma square p, and we will get 0.7801. This is heritability coefficient. If we want to express it in percentage, multiply this figure by 100, we will get 78.01%. Now, heritability in narrow sense, it is equal to additive variance upon phenotypic variance, and we get 0.7206. in percentage 7.06. What it means? It means 72% of the total variation is due to additive variance. And in case of broad sense heritability, 78% of total variation is due to genotypic variance. Take another example. Take first. For test weight, the mean of parental population is 40 gram. Mean of selected plants from this population is 50 gram. and narrow sense heritability is 0.75. Determine response to selection. Here what is given? We are given mean of parental population, it is 40 gram. We have given mean of selected plant, that is 50 gram, and we have narrow sense heritability 0.75. So first of all, we will determine selection differential. So what is selection differential? Difference between mean of selected plant and mean of parental population, and this is 10 gram. So response to selection R is equal to H square divided by S. We have already studied all these in a previous class. So response to selection is 0.75 multiplied by, what is this? This H square, no, not divided by S. Here this is multiplied by. There is some error in the formula. H square multiplied by S, and in this way response to selection is 7.5. What it means? That the mean of selected plant is 10 gram, but it is not necessary that in the progeny it will also give the 10 gram. The expected response is 7.5 gram. So this is response to selection. I have tried to cover maximum. So thanks. There is limitation in Zoom. Okay, I am stop sharing. Anything you want to ask me? अशोक राव,
हाँ सर।
कैसे भाई आप आते कैसे नहीं हो?
सर वो कल परसों सर नेट नहीं चल रहा था, उस चक्कर में।
यार सबके नेट चलता है, आपके क्या हो रहा है? कहाँ रहते हो आप?
अरे गांव सर, और के कोई प्रॉब्लम हो गई, आंधी वांधी आ गई, उस चक्कर में किसी के नहीं।
इतने इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक मैंने पढ़ाए हैं, मतलब ये टॉपिक एक्चुअली बोर्ड पे पढ़ाने लायक है, फिर भी मैंने कोशिश करके इसको स्लाइड पे लिया है। अब आप इसको या तो वो वीडियो देखना,
नहीं वो यूट्यूब वाला तो देखा।
मुझे ऐसा लगता नहीं है कि अब सीधे एग्जाम देने ही आओगे, ऐसा लग रहा मुझे। अच्छा, दूसरी बात, ये जो मैं ये जो भी करा रहा हूँ, ये आप लोग जो है ये प्रैक्टिकल रिकॉर्ड में भी करना, और कोई दिक्कत आए तो फिर मुझे बताना। ठीक है, मैं एंड करता हूँ।
ठीक है सर।